I'm going to show you a couple of quick upgrades that will really help your rolling stock out. What is it? Come back after the towel and I'll show you. Hey guys, Randall here, fellow member of the West Plains Mile Railroad Club and part of the YouTube content creation team here on the club's official YouTube channel. And I'm here to show you a couple of really fast and simple upgrades you can do to HO rolling stock that will really help boost the performance of them. And you don't even really need any special tools except for maybe a screwdriver and some couplers. So what do you say we get started? And I'll show you what we're going to do. Now we have these two Athearn, what used to be the Ready to Roll line, but now they're just the Athearn line hopper cars. So these are Trinity hoppers we have here, and they come factory equipped with McHenry HO scale couplers. These are plastic couplers. Now, if you watch my regular channel, the Randall Ellison channel, you've heard me mention this before. However, for those that don't know, my thoughts on these couplers are they're not great. I mean, they're a plastic coupler. I mean, what do you expect? But they're not the worst couplers out there. Now, if you're running like a train of like a dozen cars or less in a single locomotive, you probably don't even need to worry about changing these things. But for those that like to run long trains, like yours truly, it's probably a good idea to change these for Kadee couplers. But we're not just going to use just any type of Kadee coupler. Oh, no, no, no. We're going to do something really cool here because we're going to be using Kadee's all new number 120 Type E bottom shelf coupler. And sorry for the mirrored image on the phone. I can't fix that. It won't let me change it, but so just bear with me on this, at least for this part of the video. But you kind of get the idea of what we're looking at here. So these are the all new Kadee number 120 bottom shelf couplers. They're really cool. And I'll even show you what one looks like here. So just kind of start you out here. This right here, this is the number 58, which is the non-whisker version. So you would have to use the bronze springs that comes with these couplers. But this is the 58 head scale head knuckle coupler Kadee's offered for years. So you notice there's no appendage or anything hanging down. Well, minus trip pin, of course, but there's no appendage hanging down. On the new 120 coupler, the new bottom shelf coupler, you see right there, and it may be a little difficult to see, you've got a little appendage right there hanging down off the bottom right there. You can see it hanging down there. Now, what this does on a train, on a real one, and these HO couplers work pretty much the same way. As the train is going down the track, any imperfections in the track, the couplers will start working up and down. Now, without that appendage, there's a chance if the motion is large enough that the coupler could actually come uncoupled. However, in a lot of cases, if the coupler moves up like that, you see that little appendage catch right there? That prevents the train from separating, the cars from separating, I mean. So it actually holds the train together. So that's actually a really cool feature, and Kadee actually made this version. Now, they've offered you can actually make this version using the 119 Type E double shelf couplers. So you would just basically cut that top shelf off, file it down nice and flat, and you would have this same coupler that way. But this version, you don't have to do any modifying. You just take it out of the package, install it on the car, and you're done. And that's what we're going to be doing with these cars right here. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, we got our Union Pacific CMO hopper laying on upside down on our mat here. By the way, this is just a mat that I picked up at Micromark. But you can also find them at Hobby Lobby, and I'm sure probably several hobby shops also carry them. So anyway, that aside, we have you can see the truck right here with the screw in it. You got your McHenry coupler right here. And you notice that these cars actually have 2 screws. So you have this main screw right here, and then you have this tiny little screw right back here. Now this screwdriver right here is actually going to be actually no, wrong screwdriver. This screwdriver here is actually going to be too big for the little screws. So we'll have to use a smaller screwdriver. Now, you can do this a couple ways. Now this one right here, this was the one I was showing you just now, but or just a second ago. Now you can get one like this. They're a little more comfortable to handle, but if you want to go the cheap route, the really cheap route, these are from Harbor Freight. You can pick these up for about $4, something like that, a whole set of these. So those are actually pretty handy. So if you want to go the cheap route, really cheap route, you can do that. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and take this truck off because we can't really get to the screws like this and change the couplers out. So we're going to go ahead and take this screw off like so. You see the screw, and the good thing is I actually magnetize this screwdriver, so the screw stays on. So we'll take that off, and then we've got another screwdriver right here. It's basically the same size as this orange channel one, but that way I don't have to remove the screws. So we'll go ahead and at least try to take this off. I may have to do it like this here. Well, that didn't sound good. Kind of need to be careful there. Some of the, unfortunately, these hopper cars can be a little bit on the fragile side. You heard that kind of snapping sound right there. Probably best not to get too carried away with the pressure right there. But okay, we got that off. Now we need to get the smaller screw off. And where is my little screwdriver at that I was using? Okay, well, we'll probably have to get into the our cheap set here and grab one of these little guys right here. So hopefully this will come off like so, and indeed it does. And thank goodness that one's magnetized too. So now we can pull the coupler off right here, and I just messed that up, so I'll have to redo that later. One thing about these cars though that might be kind of worth noting, these are former Athearn Genesis cars, but they did, I think, redo the coupler boxes, because on the original Genesis cars that these replaced, and I actually have one right here. This is one of the original Athearn Genesis cars from back in the late 2000s. You see how this is set up much the same way as the Ready to Roll car. The problem is the coupler box they used on this car is actually a scale width coupler box. And as such, you actually can't put Kadee couplers. Now, this is actually a Scale-Train's rivet counter coupler, which is also a metal coupler in their own right. The rivet counter brand and the museum quality brand uses metal couplers, while the operator line uses plastic couplers. But these are actually metal couplers, and they fit right into the coupler boxes on these Athearn Genesis, these older Athearn Genesis cars. So not sure if the newer ones, if they fixed the issue with that car and made the coupler boxes larger or not. But yeah, if you're wondering about that, there you go. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and put our brand new coupler on here, our new whisker coupler, like so. And that's going to slide in there like that. We'll put this guy in here like so. And then we're going to put the little screw back in first. So try and get that guy put in there. Okay. And you don't want to get just real stout tightening these guys down, because you can strip the threads out pretty easy. And then you got problems when you do that. So we definitely don't want to Whoops, that's not the right screw. That's the truck screw. Where's my other screw at for this car? I gave myself a panic attack, and when I nearly broke this thing trying to take the screws off, and I have lost the other screw. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to pause this and see if I can find, oh wait, nope, here it is. Never mind, crisis averted. So we'll go ahead and, well, that's bad. I just dropped it on the floor. So hang on just a second. I'll be right back and I'll get that put back in. All right, well, we found the screws. So as I was saying, we can get back to business here. And we'll just put that screw back in. And you're done. So we got the couplers put on. Last step, put the truck on. Like so. Make sure it can swivel good. So, and it's got a little bit of motion to it. So that looks pretty good. So now we just flip the car around and do the other side right here. So since I kind of messed up doing that one end there, we'll just go ahead and show you the other end. So let's go ahead and take that small screw out here. And we'll do this screw right here. Sometimes these guys don't want to play nice. And you just got, but you know, like I said, you just got to be careful and not do like I did just a little bit ago, because I almost made a boo-boo and did some catastrophic damage to this car. So just be careful, because this part of the car here is actually pretty fragile. So, or well, I shouldn't say it's like really fragile, but it can't take a lot of punishment either. So this is actually kind of the weakest part of the car right here on these cars. But that is the price we pay for wanting things to be as close to accurate as possible. Which, honestly, I'm not one of those guys, but I do really love these cars a lot. They are a lot of fun to run. But they can be a little bit of a chore to put couplers and stuff on. Not as bad, not near as bad as the Genesis cars, but come on now. Of course, you know, I have shaky hands, so that probably doesn't help the situation any. There we go. All right, we got it. So it pays to kind of get them in there in the hole. Hopefully I won't lose it out of there. Now we can maybe screw this guy on here. There we go. All right, get that guy screwed on there like that, and that helps hold it in there. So now we're ready to put the other screw on, like so. Grab our screwdriver, tighten it down, make sure everything, let's see, maybe it's this one I need. Nope, it is that one. Or maybe I just need the orange handle one since it's a little bit better suited for this. So yeah, there we go. That got her down good. So make sure the coupler has good swing motion. And it looks really good. So back on goes the truck. Screw. Make sure that thing gets in there good. Something tells me I don't have that in there right. Okay, it's in there right now. All right. Make sure it's, make sure we got good play. And that's a little bit much, so we can probably get her down a little more. So there we go. And just like that, that car is done. So yeah, it looks really good. You can see the new 120 couplers installed on there. So all we got to do is just repeat the process for this green car, and we'll show you the finished product here. All right, and there's a look at the two hoppers right there with their new Kadee 120 couplers, and they look really good. Now, much like these function just much like the real ones, I should say, if I can speak. So yeah, when I lift up on the car, you'll notice it catches right there, and you see the other car lift up as well. So these will do really nicely keeping your trains together. And yeah, it looks really good. Now I'm going to kind of show you something else here, which involves coupler heights. Now, Kadee makes a coupler height gauge that you can use to check the heights to make sure everything's correct. So I'll show you a couple of cars here that they're a little low on the low side. So I think this box car here, I don't think I've adjusted yet. So we'll just kind of show you this right here. So give me just a second. I'm going to pull these two cars apart. And we'll kind of show you what we're talking about here. Okay, so just kind of show you a thing about coupler heights. Now this hopper is actually at the right coupler height, but this car here, this CB&Q 40-foot high cube box car, this guy right here, the couplers are actually pretty low on this car. Now this is an old Athearn Blue Box kit that I put together some time back. I was originally going to put metal wheels on it, but this car, I would have to change the entire truck if I were to do that, because it has the early form of roller bearing, functioning bearing caps. And I may end up doing a separate video on this car, because this is that's actually kind of neat. That's actually a very early version of animated bearing caps on these on rolling stock, so that's pretty cool there. But aside from that, we're talking about couplers here. So you notice the coupler on the Burlington boxcar is low, much lower than this on the UP hopper here. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to use some fiber washers to help raise the car up a little bit, and that should get the coupler height even with the UP hopper. So hang on just a second, I'll show you how we're going to do that. All right, so we have our boxcar flipped over upside down, and what we're going to do, we're going to take these trucks off, and then we're going to add some fiber washers. So we have the red washers here. These are thickness of 0.015 right here for the red washers, and then the gray ones right here is a thickness of 0.10. So I think I said 0.10 on this one. It's 0.105, my bad. But yeah, they're just a little bit thicker than the gray ones here. So what I found out is one red one and one gray one brings these cars up to just the right coupler height. It's the same for a lot of the roundhouse box cars as well. So it's a really simple trick to get these things up to the right coupler height. So we'll just unscrew this. And you notice I'm using a flat screwdriver, obviously. So and if you want to kind of make things consistent across the board, you can change these screws for a Phillips head. If you want to try to make things consistent across the board, and you want to make sure everything's out. Okay. Come on. There you go. So, like I said, what we're going to do, we're going to have one gray washer and one red washer. Now, it doesn't matter how you do this. The orientation does not matter. So, we will... I just happen to have 2 left in this package, so that's actually good. There. So we'll drop a red one here on this guy. Come on now. So there's a red washer. And we'll get a couple of gray ones right here. I got 3. I didn't mean to do that, but because I only needed 2. And we'll drop a gray one right there, and then we're done with that side. We could screw the truck back on. So put your truck back on like so. Your screw. Screw that down. Make sure there's enough play so the truck can negotiate a rough track. You don't want to cinch these guys down too tight. Because, and I'll just show you here for demonstration purposes. If you cinch it down too tight, not only is the truck barely going to turn, it has no motion to it. And that's a problem. Because if there's any imperfection on the track, these things are going to find it when they're cinched down that tight. You don't want them flopping around all over the place, but you don't want them really tight either. And that looks pretty good right there. So I think we're in good shape right there. So we'll come around here, do the same to the other side. And we're not changing the couplers because they've already got Kadees on them. So they're good in that respect. So once again, red washer and the gray washer. Tighten it down. Make sure you got enough play in there. That's still a little too loose. So, yeah, still a little bit loose there. Come on, buddy. You can do it. That's too tight now. Excuse me. And that looks good. So, excuse me. A little bit of wobble, but nothing too serious. So, what do you say we check it out and see if we fix the problem with this car? All right, so we got everything fixed up here on this CB&Q box car. We're going to try it out with our green hopper this time, which is the same height. And you can see right there now, both couplers are actually pretty close to the same height, as you can see right there. That one there may actually be a little bit higher, but I don't think that's too big of a deal. Right there. In fact, that looks pretty good right there like that. So the center line, you look at the center line of the coupler right there, and that's pretty close. I mean, that's just about spot on. So that looks good. Just for just to be safe, we'll check the other side. And yep, sure enough, looks really good there. So That's a couple of really simple, easy upgrades you can do to rolling stock to make it perform better. And you don't even have to do any modifications to the car itself. Just unscrew the truck's coupler box cover, put your coupler in, screw everything back together. You're done. And if you need to add washers, it's real easy. Just add the washers before you put the truck back on. So, yeah, really easy stuff there that beginners can do. Hopefully, for you guys, anybody that's just starting out model railroading, this will be a help to you. And yeah, that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care, all. Bye for now.